Now,
It's very
I have
unbecoming of a president to see a bunch of spiky little things poking out of their nice dress pants.
So here's a 13-second video of Ted Cruz trying to kiss his daughters to kiss his daughter to sort of give off that family man vibe by his tour bus in front of the cameras.
All right. After this one, I want to talk about it. Is Josh coming back?
I think he is. Yeah, this one, I've seen this one. This is just a little girl kind of pushing away from her dad. It's not that
she's old enough to know that she should be that their cameras.
Yeah,
Let me
she's
watch
young
this
enough
together.
To get pissy about
It's only 13 seconds. Ready, set, play.
Do you think you can win here, Ted?
Are you taking off? Come on.
Yeah, they're going with me.
Hey, let's hop out of the way.
She's doing this to him.
Good jump. Good jump. Ready, Bob?
All right. So that was rough. I get that. He tried to show his daughter some affection, and she didn't return it.
And it was clear that wasn't a regular thing. That wasn't they're like, oh, see, you're leaving? Give damn daddy a kiss, like always. She was like, what the fuck?
I didn't get that. My thing is,
watch it in slow motion. She is repulsed.
Yeah, but she's a child. She could just be in a bad mood because she didn't get the flavored Pop-Tart she wanted.
Exactly. Kids can be cunts sometimes, and
look at those Obama kids.
I knew Woody would be on the right
like
with this one.
Yeah.
The Obama kids. Look at Chelsea Clinton. You don't see her showing her ass out
I was
there.
talking to my daughter about this. You remember the time when she said, like, see if we can make money sitting on our couch? I talked to her about that a few years later. And I was like, sometimes it seemed like you just weren't on my team. Like everything was kind of begrudging. And she's like, yeah, sometimes I wasn't. I was 12. And like it was a phase. And, now she's so much easier to talk to and we get along great. And I'm sure my kids have done that to me at one time. And I'm the best parent I know how to be. Sometimes kids like Taylor called out a great thing. She might not have gotten the flavor Pop-Tart she want. They're in the middle of a presidential campaign and there must be so much stress on the family. I'm sure she doesn't understand that her father is working like 140 hours a week right now.
How old do you think she
is? Temporary.
Like 11?
11-ish.
Oh, come on. Let me watch again. Hang on. Let me look up how old she is. That's probably...
Let's hop out of the way.
We're taking
How old?
Yeah, 11, 12 is my guess. You tell me where I am on that. But yeah, I kind of feel like kids are gonna be sassy sometimes, and I saw that. If anything, my heart went out to Cruz because he's just trying to love up his daughter before they had to be separated yet again. She's probably upset that they get separated so much right now. The stress that a presidential campaign must put on your family is worse than anything I've done with mine. So. I think Ted Cruz is a cunt. He's one of my least favorite candidates, but I'll cut him some slack on this little interaction.
Understandable. I feel like even you can just be in a bad mood sometimes. Sometimes you're just, especially as like a kid, like a 12-year-old or like a 10-year-old, like the kid have like a bad mood and not understanding how to control said bad mood. So
if it was his
be a little shit.
If his wife did this,
yeah, it would be completely different. Like an actual adult.
His wife knows there's cameras around and people are watching, and that even if she's mad at him, she needs to be, keep that in the, you talk about that at the hotel room tonight, where you sort out your issues. But here is not the place to do that. His little girl, is whatever. If I hold anyone at fault, it's her, and she gets a pass because she's so young.
Yeah, because
she's very young. Okay, all right. So I'm probably on your page now. Although you could see this kid wasn't down for that kiss, leading up to it. So I'm reading this here. It's straight from DailyCaller.com. A contributor to the Huffington Post and notable male feminist has claimed Senator Ted Cruz's awkward effort to hug and kiss his uninterested daughter isn't simply an odd campaign moment, but actually an example of rape culture.
Of course it is.
Cruz suffered an embarrassing moment Sunday when video surfaced of him attempting to hug and kiss his 7-year-old daughter, Caroline, while out on Iowa campaign trail. She was not terribly interested, created a strange scene.
Rape. God.
Rape culture.
What a ridiculous trivialization.
Dude, rape is when you force someone to have sex with you that didn't want to.
Or if you lean into them and make them uncomfortable for a moment. It's a thin wire. You walk.
Yeah. If you're on a date and you had dinner and you go back and she says no and you still have sex, that's rape. If you didn't know her at all and you pull her into someplace dark and private and she has sex with you and she said no, that's rape. What is not rape is...
He didn't say it was rape. He said it was part of rape culture. Do you want to? I can speed through what the actual feminist guy said. I don't agree with it, but he says, as you probably know, rape culture is the way in which our society enables sexual violence against women and men. This spans everything from the portrayal of women as sex objects in media to how consent is taught, expressed, and honored. When you look at the GIF I posted, you see that his daughter clearly does not want to be kissed. Were this playful moment perhaps our perception would be different, but it's not. It is obvious she does not want the attention from her father. When I cite this as an example of benign rape culture, I mean that it's one of those seemingly meaningless moments that enables violent acts. No, I don't believe Ted Cruz would ever hurt his daughter, nor do I believe anything he's doing here is remotely sexual, but I think it's important to discuss the role of consent in this situation. If her father doesn't respect her boundaries, wouldn't this make it harder for her to understand she's able to assert boundaries to unwanted attention down the road?
No.
That's very
at
social justice warrior-y.
At 7 years old, you don't get to set a bunch of boundaries with your parents. Here's a comprehensive list of vegetables that I'm okay being served. Nothing green will ever make it on my plate. I'm setting a boundary.
That's not it, though.
No, but that's the spirit of what they're saying. The whole and the what is it? Objectification thing is silly. Where it's like that's a weird kind of thought policing. Where it's like saying I'm not okay with what you think internally, and so I'm going to project from you what you must be thinking about this image, and what I assume you are thinking is wrong. Where it's like, of course, you objectify people every day. When you go to your doctor, you don't go, this guy's a real swell dude, didn't really notice any diplomas hanging up on his wall, but I trust him. It's like, no, you're objectifying him on his ability to do his job as a doctor. When a contractor comes, you don't go, what a swell dude. We had a lot of fun chatting over lemonade. Let's hope he can do his job. No, that guy is an object that you're paying to get the work done. Like, I don't know. It's just a whole silly thing that you just get caught up in semantics and then you bicker over terminology until people get too exhausted to continue.
I think he was really zeroing in on the fact that a man was forcing a woman to receive some sort of affection or kiss, and he felt like that was going to have some more deep-rooted effect on her psyche further down the road. Maybe she was going to have flashbacks to daddy.
I understand what he's saying. I'm just saying it's wrong and stupid and sensationalizing it, and just he's clearly trying to just pander to his audience. He knows the kind of people who are reading.
He's trying to get a rise.
There aren't any Ted Cruz fans on his blog like, I never thought of it like that. Go Bernie or whatever he's supporting. Like, I don't know. It's just so pandering and silly.
It seems like he was literally just trying to get a rise and trying to get like a group of people that would agree with his opinion.
Yeah, and when Obama was kissing those little babies, if it was a little boy baby, all for it. But what if he forced himself to kiss a little girl baby? What if she looks back on that?
What if it was a white baby?
Confused about her sexuality. Exactly. Interracial baby kissing. Unacceptable.
Fuck that.
That baby wasn't old enough to consent to a forehead kiss.
No, to me, I feel like some people are so passionate about an issue, right? And this Tumblrina dude, I don't know what a Tumblrina dude would be called, the Kotaku dude, just looks through everything through this lens of rape culture, problematic areas, and assigns it to places it doesn't fit. I saw there was a guy who was on some online forum, but he always fussed about the environment. And then the movie Cars came out. And he's like, imagine this horrific nightmare of a world where all these things like just spat their emissions everywhere. Imagine being near Mater and what that tailpipe is like. It's like, dude, it's a fucking Pixar movie. Like, you can't just enjoy a movie about like car people talking and going through their...
That's Larry the Cable Guy. Automobile culture.
But the guy was so passionate or warped, take your pick, that he saw Cars through the lens of environmental.
Does he really? Or is he doing that for the specific purpose of trying, like, his normal view of like, oh, I just saw a car movie. Like, he wouldn't go and write a review of said car movie and be like, oh, everyone's loving this car review. Like, he can write this outlandish, way out there review that's, saying, oh, this is objectifying this, that, and the other thing. And does he actually believe that, like, that hurt him in some way, like thinking that cars are gonna, actually be hurting the emissions. I mean, like that's literally specifically his view probably isn't like interesting enough, so he has to like actually claim a different view to get a rise out of other people. Like I struggle to believe that someone actually saw cars and got offended because they thought that it would fuck with like the emissions of that outside Pixar world.
Yeah. Well, I defy you to find anything that at least one person isn't offended by. Like,
yeah, that's true. That's accurate.
Anything at all. You can pick the most benign thing of all time, and someone will get offended by it. Like every year that Halloween comes around, if you check Twitter on Halloween, God forbid, there's a whole section of like, I'm a culture, I'm not a costume, and it's some like, and it's like God. Almost like they're making fun of themselves. Because it's like I'm culturally enriched. I'm not a costume, and then it's some dude dressed up as like a stereotypical samurai because he's Japanese. It's like, oh, okay. So what you're saying is now we have to dress up based on our heritage. So it's just assigned costume day. Have fun, everyone. Make sure you give out culturally appropriate candy. No fresh water for you, Somalian boy. Like not from this house. Like it's just silly.
Yeah, I agree. And it's just the entire social justice warrior cause. Like they are looking for something to get angry about because they need some time to waste, basically. So it's like they might not even believe the cause that they're supporting, but they're like listening for that trigger word. They're listening for that keyword just so they can jump at you and have full range to attack you and or have like a ridiculous view that's different. But they don't even believe that themselves.
I think that like the people who are spouting the ridiculous ideas and the crazy like rape culture or this kind of culture, that kind of culture, whatever, car culture, like the people who are spouting that, I think they know on the inside that
exactly
it's BS. Like for a lot of them, no, they can't be that smart to build a following like that and then meticulously place all these statements perfectly aligned to garner more followers of the same hive mind. But the people following them, I think for the most part, they're not as into it, and they just think they're being good people, which is understandable. Where they're like, "Oh yeah, well, of course I'm against rape culture. Like that has the word rape in it. I'm against it because all reasonable people are."
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems like good intentioned people rather get sucked into stuff like this, and then they go off the rails a little bit. But I think it starts from a place of goodness for the most part. But then of course they're like the holier than thou people. Anyway, sorry.
Josh, I know you don't have a ton of time. I know you got to head out early. What do you want to plug? Where can we go to see all the things that are Strange Central?